In a world increasingly characterized by economic instability, persistent inflation, and geopolitical turbulence, one asset continues to shine brightly: gold.
We're 99% engineered, so it means we have a good understanding of what the costs are. All the major components that are required are currently on site, so we have mills, motors, overland conveyors. Now it's a matter of just bolting everything together. So we're in a great position.
And Q2 of next year, we're going to see first gold. That's the anticipated timeline so far.
Calibre Mining Corp is a client and sponsor of Pinnacle Digest. Please read the full disclosure at the end of this video.
Over the past 2 decades, gold has quietly notched a compounded annual growth rate of more than 9%, while major global currencies have undergone substantial devaluation. For centuries, gold has proven itself as a reliable store of value when currencies falter and economies shake. The precious metal's ability to retain value through millennia, outlasting empires and currencies, has cemented its status as a financial cornerstone. With several central banks around the globe recently buying gold in massive quantities and investors flocking to it as a safe haven, gold has reached new heights, recently surpassing $2,500 per ounce. Outside of owning the precious metal itself, many investors opt to speculate on the producers, the mining companies that own the mines that are producing the physical gold. Historically, in past gold bull markets, mining companies have provided leverage to the rising gold price, potentially allowing investors to amplify their returns. However, that potential leverage also comes with risks. The success of a mining company is deeply intertwined with factors like the quality and longevity of its assets, the company's operational expertise, and the location of its mines. In this context, many regions within Canada and the US stand out as prime jurisdictions for mining and exploration, offering political stability, rich natural resources, and a favorable investment environment. Within Canada, Newfoundland and Labrador, which is where I stand today, has emerged as an attractive destination for mining and exploration. Ranking 9th globally in the Fraser Institute's overall investment attractive index from its annual survey of mining companies for 2023, the survey was tallied to rank jurisdictions worldwide based on their overall investment attractiveness, mining policy attractiveness, and geological attractiveness. This brings us to Calibre Mining, the reason I'm here in beautiful and rugged Atlantic Canada. Calibre Mining has been steadily building its reputation as an America's focused gold producer. Earlier this year, the company finalized the acquisition of the Valentine gold mine in Newfoundland and Labrador. Initial gold production is anticipated in the first half of 2025. Upon full ramp-up, the mine is expected to contribute up to 195,000 ounces of gold per year. For a little background, Calibre is a gold mining company that we at Pinnacle Digest have been following for roughly 5 years. In late 2019, we first met with Calibre's management in Nicaragua, the country it first became a gold producer in and now home to 3 of its gold mines. We toured Calibre's projects in Nicaragua, learned about management's vision for the company, and delved into their strategic development plan. At the time, Calibre was just starting out in the world of gold production, but management had a vision and the expertise to make it happen. From growing gold production in Nicaragua to expanding its gold mining footprint in Nevada, and this year, acquiring and advancing construction of the multi-million ounce Valentine gold mine, Calibre has consistently focused on growth. Among its other milestones since 2019, the company has delivered a 4th consecutive year of mineral reserve growth and been included into the VanEck GDX index. And as of 2023, Calibre delivered annual production growth of 28% year on year. The company also increased its cash position from $4 million in 2019 to roughly $86 million as of Q4 2023. These achievements, along with Calibre's extensive exploration plans across its assets in 3 countries this year, including roughly 100,000 meters of drilling here in Newfoundland and Labrador alone, position it for further potential growth. As we delve into this new chapter in Calibre's story of gold mining and exploration, we'll hear directly from Darren Hall, the company's president and CEO, who will share his vision of the company's growth strategy here in Newfoundland and Labrador, its operational potential, and Calibre's vision of how it aims to become a mid-tier gold producer. Darren Hall has over 35 years of experience in the mining industry with a track record of increasing production, reducing costs, and promoting health, safety, and business excellence. He previously served as Chief Operating Officer of Kirkland Lake Gold, which acquired Newmarket Gold, where he served as the Chief Operating Officer. Prior to Newmarket Gold, Darren worked for Newmont Mining, where he held roles of increasing responsibility throughout the organization for almost 30 years. Darren, it's been 5 years since we last saw each other in Nicaragua. Time flies. We're here in Newfoundland. What made you want to acquire the Valentine gold mine?
5 years. Doesn't time fly, right? It really does. And what a journey it's been over the last 5 years. We've taken Nicaragua for what was, non-core assets within B2, and with our 110% focus, we've grown production 30% a year, annualized. Right? We've grown reserves from what was around 200,000 ounces to in excess of 1 million ounces. And we've produced over 825,000 ounces since
late 2019.
Yeah, and all that while is building new mines and doing things. We've also built cash. We've taken our cash position was ostensibly zero. It was $4 million at the end of 2019 to $86 million at the end of last year in 2023. And that was after the $40 million private placement we put into to Valentine Gold, or into Marathon, to be able to secure this deal. So no, it's been a journey, absolutely. And the performance of the team and the assets in Nicaragua has positioned us well to be able to do the acquisition of Marathon Gold. Yeah, this is a fantastic property. The feasibility issued in late 2022 puts us around 200,000 ounces a year at around $1,007 an ounce. It's a fantastic asset in a great jurisdiction. I mean, I don't know there was a better jurisdiction in Canada than Newfoundland, Labrador. It's a rich resource and mining-focused jurisdiction.
Yeah.
There's great human capital. It's a really terrific place to be. It's a great asset in a great jurisdiction in a safe haven in Canada, right? Where else would you want to be?
You're standing here now, it's early September. What stage is the construction at here at Valentine?
As of today, we're probably just a little north of 80% complete, project complete in terms of overall. We're 99% engineered, so that means we have a good understanding of what the costs are. We have a good plan to be able to deliver into first gold in Q2 of 2025. All the major components that are required are currently on site. So we have mills, motors, overland conveyors. Now it's a matter of just bolting everything together. So we're in a great position. Tails facility is materially complete. We'll be in a position by the end of September, early October to hold water.
Now, your all-in sustaining costs is something I believe separates you guys. The pre-feasibility came in at about 1,006. How confident are you you're going to be able to come in around that level once you begin production in 2025?
Yeah, the feasibility for the first 12 years projected 195,000 ounces at $1,007 an ounce. There's always going to be tension delivering into a feasibility study, right? Because the feasibility study has been finely tuned, and we know that there's inflationary pressures across the market, but we see good opportunity to be able to offset some of those inflationary pressures. The plant is designed at 2.5 million tonnes a year, expanding to 4 million tonnes in year 3, 4. I firmly believe that we'll see production of 3.3 million tonnes as a base, which obviously offset production risk. We've been doing infill drilling to be able to validate the reserve model, which was the estimate of the grade, and we released yesterday updated results from Marathon, and we've seen 45% higher grades from a 200,000 tonne test parcel with RC drilling, right? So all of those things will positively contribute to offsetting cost inflation or potentially even coming in better.
Talk about the exploration plans and how that could lead into bigger ounces, bigger resources moving forward.
It's a key part of the value proposition we see here at Valentine. Obviously it's a world-class asset, it's a great asset, but it's a greenfield site. It's embryonic in its development. This isn't a brownfield site with a rebirthed asset. This is the first significant development in central Newfoundland, right? It's a significant land position. There's 5 million resource ounces and 3 different deposits that, Marathon have been very successful over the previous decade in developing them, right? But, we see huge potential on our land position. And we've got a Valentine Lake shear zone, which extends for 32 kilometres. Only about 6 kilometres of that has been touched. And if we think about the development of how the miners come to bear, there's 3 deposits which make it up. So you've got Leprechaun, Berry, and Marathon. And what's really interesting here is that Leprechaun was discovered in 2012, 2013. Marathon was discovered a number of years later, right, which is sitting to the north. In between, as part of condemnation drilling, basically found Berry. Right? And what differentiates Berry from Marathon and Leprechaun is that Leprechaun and Marathon both poked through the till and the host rock was exposed at surface, right? Berry wasn't. So, we look around here, there's a huge amount of ground cover. So looking and seeing where we want to target along that host, there's great potential on here, right?
Those 3 deposits are just in the first 6-kilometer shear zone.
Yeah.
There's another 26 to test.
Yeah, and there's 2 sides of this on the other side of the lake as well. Now there's huge potential here. You know, again, great for us as it projects us into a quality mid-tier with the addition of Valentine, right? Gets us into that 450 to 500,000 ounces a year, right? And we'll be at that run rate by the end of next year. Right? So we've got that as a base, but the opportunity to grow from this exploration potential is significant as well.
Can you go show us some of the construction and where things are at?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that.
Let's do it. Darren, we've come over to the crusher. This is an amazing structure. Now, you guys are trying to bring a significant gold mine into production. There's always things that come up. There's always challenges. Do you see any potential, showstoppers or any flaws that could arise in the final sort of 20% to completion here?
No, I don't think so, right? There's always going to be small issues that come up on a day-by-day basis, but as we've seen, right, we've got a great team who can deliver into. If we look at where the status of the primary crusher, we look over to the mills, right? We're well advanced from the significant plant, and we anticipate being materially, substantially mechanically completed December. So we're in really good shape to deliver into the Q2 2025 gold production.
We talked about this earlier, walking around, people have purpose here. There's an energy that's just flowing through this entire community. What does it mean to have a project like this come online in Newfoundland for Newfoundlanders?
I think it's critically important, right? And one of the things that I've been encouraged by during my tenure here over the last 7-8 months now, right, has been the commitment that people have to the project, right, regardless of who the owner of the project is, right? This is important for Newfoundland. It's particularly important for central Newfoundland, right? We have lots of folks from Newfoundland who are working on the mainland who want to come home, so they want to be here. They're intensely proud people, and they own this project, right? They want it to be successful, so they've got heart, tears, they've got everything involved in this. It's really encouraging. We're a great team, and we're in a great jurisdiction to do it.
Darren, thanks for meeting with us.
Appreciate it. As always, a pleasure. Thank you.
Next, I'll be meeting with Ryan King, Senior Vice President of Corporate Development and Investor Relations at Calibre Mining. Ryan has been a pivotal figure at Calibre since its inception and is a respected name in Canada's resource sector. Before his work with Calibre, Ryan played a crucial role in Newmarket Gold's success, where he led investor relations through a $2 billion transformational merger with Kirkland Lake Gold. Throughout his career, he has been instrumental in helping raise over $350 million in capital, consistently bridging the gap between mining companies and the capital markets. Ryan, thanks for meeting with us. Can you give us an overview of the Valentine opportunity here in Newfoundland?
What's exciting for me so far this year is, of course, we closed the deal to acquire Marathon in this fantastic 5 million ounce Valentine gold project. We're well advanced with construction, and Q2 of next year we're going to see first gold. That's the anticipated timeline so far. What's exciting about this opportunity here at Valentine is that essentially what's been discovered so far is across 6 kilometers of what has been mapped out to be a 32-kilometer shear system or big fault system. This is what's known as an orogenic gold deposit. If you look around the world at orogenic gold deposits, they're in the order of magnitude between 30 and 50 million ounces in size.
What's an example of one in Canada?
The Timmins camp, which a lot of people will know. There's many mines there, the Abitibi, Val-d'Or, many mines that have very similar geology to Valentine. If you look at the evolution of the Valentine deposits, so there's 3 main deposits that make up the 14-year reserve life of 2.7 million ounces of gold in reserve, which is inclusive inside the resources at 4 million ounces measured and indicated, 1.1 million ounces of inferred. And so there's tremendous opportunity just on the resource base there to extend mine life, very likely. But the evolution here is that Leprechaun essentially being discovered in 2010, 2011. Marathon Pit was discovered in 2015. And those 2 deposits made up the original feasibility study and then the environmental planning that went into that for the mine. As they were doing that and doing small additional exploration work, they came across the Berry deposit in between those 2 pits to create the 3rd pit. So we're talking very green fields. This isn't a brownfield site, which is key. And we're talking about, in the span of about 15 years, 5 million ounces has been discovered. And now everyone is realizing, wow, we're into a very significant district or camp because of that minimal space across the whole shear system that's been explored. I mean, outside of these 6 kilometers, very limited drilling outside of this.
And you're drilling roughly 100,000 meters. Is some of that drilling going to happen there?
And that's something that we decided to do mid-season or halfway through the season here, is that as we got into this, we realized, wow, there's tremendous upside. So we increased the size of the program. We announced a 100,000 meter program that's going to happen over the next 18 months. Right now, we currently have 3 diamond drills operating the property. We have 2 RC drills doing more ore control drilling in the top benches of the pits. We've recently had some results out on that. At Leprechaun earlier this year, what was exciting is we identified a new system, a new zone inside the pit, but outside of reserves. And we hit incredible grades, 46 grams over 5 meters, 17 grams over 7, right in the first 3 layers, first 3 benches of the top of the open pit.
Let's talk Nevada and Nicaragua. What do the exploration plans look like there?
We've got 2 rigs operating in Nevada now. We have replaced production depletion and increased reserves 50%. So we are seeing the benefit of that exploration program. We still think there's tremendous exploration potential there. We've got a 220 square kilometer land package. All the right settings are in place. We're not only drilling the operating mine, which is Pan, it's a heap leach operation. We're also drilling a project that's about 15 kilometers away known as Gold Rock. And Gold Rock has demonstrated some new sulfide, higher grade sulfide systems there that we've identified. So predominantly I would say that the focus is Pan, but being that Gold Rock is only 15 kilometers away, maybe there's an opportunity where we could have, if we discover something of significance, have oxide material come over to Pan because of the heap leach system we have in place there.
Interesting. What about Nicaragua?
Right now we have 12 rigs operating across Nicaragua. We made some tremendous discoveries at Limon. We've discovered the high grade, it's north of 8 gram underground reserve now at Pantheon North on the Limon property. We've discovered Atravesada, brought that in to be a mine. We have discovered a couple of different zones across that property and we're continuing to drill there. I think right now we have 4 or 5 rigs operating at Limon alone. A very significant program underway in Nicaragua, and year over year we've replaced and increased reserves in Nicaragua because we've continually invested in that exploration potential. We're up to 1.1 million ounces of reserves as at the end of last year. We started in 2019 about 250,000 ounces in reserves. So we've seen the benefit, and I think we're going to see that across the portfolio.
Ryan, thanks for meeting with us. Best of luck.
Thanks.
We've watched Calibre grow over the last 5 years. And now, as they embark on completing construction of a new gold mine here in Newfoundland and Labrador, the company aims to substantially increase its gold production capacity. Calibre represents more than just a mining company. It's a calculated bet that gold will continue to hold its value in an uncertain world. Their disciplined approach and commitment to sustainability, backed by a strong balance sheet and a proven management team, shows a company that is not only prepared to meet the challenges of today, but is also strategically positioned for tomorrow.